Oh, que paso? What's going on, y'all? So great to see you here. Thanks so much for being here. Nice and early for all my live friends hanging out with us. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. So great to have you. Welcome to episode 15 of the Winelander Wednesday Roundup. I gotta tell you, every week that number, episode number just goes up, and it kind of blows my mind that we are already 15 episodes deep into this live stream. So great to see you guys. Hello to John Sadare, Joshua McLean. Great to see you, Donald. Jim Odell, tried and true guys. John Strader, I see he's hanging out here with us. Michael Loggins, great to see you. Glad you're doing well. I'm doing well myself. Thank you so much for asking. James, always a pleasure. We see we got another John Buchanan tuning in from North Carolina. Yvonne, great to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it today. Oh, I love it. Bob, tuning in all the way from snowy Indiana. My goodness. I feel for you guys that are going through all the like really cold stuff. I know it's that time of year, but your girl here, she's a desert rat. I do not thrive in cold climate. And it's a little chilly here in the valley today. So we're rocking a pullover. Oh, man. I hope you guys are all doing well. Oscar asks, how's the weather in Arizona? It's definitely not as bad as where some of you guys are. It's a little chilly, but it's pretty nice to be in Arizona, which I'm sure every snowbird who flocks here for the wintertime is like, yeah, we'd rather be here than where we're actually from. So it's all part of it. It's all a part of it. And Odell, oh my goodness, I gotta say, I'm jealous again. Odell says stuff in my face with chocolate chip cookies tonight. I love it. I wish I could be joining you. I do have a love for sweet things. Now, I gotta say, since we're on the topic of sweet things, it's not one of those things that I participate in all the time, but when I do, we have ourselves a good time. And since we have opened the topic of discussion for sweet, sugary, fun things, I'd love to know, what are your guys' go-to desserts? Okay? Because I know we all got some. Even if you're like, I'm not really much of a sweet person, there's something that's on the sweeter side, at least. That's like your vice, your little go-to, when you're like, I want some dessert right now. What do you gravitate to? For me, there's a couple things on the lineup. I love brownies. Oh, I'm getting myself excited just like thinking about it. I love brownies. I love like a good chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. And I think if I had to just keep it to those two things, I would be good. You know, just like something really good. Kiki, I see you're in the comments and she's like, Toffee Bars? Yes, which honestly, I'll tell you, with the Toffee Bars, you kind of get the best of both worlds. If y'all are not a part of the Winelanders United Facebook fan group, you probably missed out this holiday season on the Toffee Bars that Miss Kiki makes. One of my favorite things in the whole wide world. And why I say it's like the best of both worlds, because you get the chocolate, right? But then you kind of get like the salty, savory side of it because there's pecans in there, and like, it's so good. It's just, one of my favorite things too. So, you know, my list goes on. My list goes on. And I see y'all are throwing in your input into the conversation. What do we got? I see we got some cheesecake. Love cheesecake too. Ooh, Odell, like you're just going in real strong with like the rich chocolate, German chocolate cake. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I see we got a lot of cheesecake fans in here. And honestly, I can't say I blame you. Can't say I blame you. A good cheesecake, just like, there was one time I ate a caramel brulee cheesecake. I love caramel brulee too. This is horrible. I'm not helping myself out right now. I'm sounding like I'm Willy Wonka or something, but amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fred loves ice cream, and I can't say I blame him. You know, the nice part about living in Arizona is it feels like all year round ice cream's pretty applicable of a dessert more often than not. Oh, goodness. Hot fudge sundae. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know what I'm really enjoying, though, about seeing everything here in the comments is we all have very similar taste buds. And I think So, yeah. Oh, I know. No, John, Strader. It's funny you say that. He says Girl Scout cookies are coming soon. I drove by, okay? I drove by a sign in a neighborhood. Like almost like they were hosting a garage sale. But it was just a sign that was like, Girl Scout cookies heading that way. And I was like, do we make... you know what the better part was? I was on my way to the gym, too. I was like, do we make a detour? Do we just kind of like take a little on over? I was really tempted. I was so very much tempted. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all. But I was going to risk it all just to go get some Girl Scout cookies. But since, again, we're on that topic of conversation, what's your favorites? Y'all, I have to be real honest with you. Samoas are my all-time favorite. I do love the Sandies. I also love the peanut butter ones. Those are probably like my top 3. But Samoas, all the way. Give me the chocolate. Give me the coconut. So good. I don't know how this like turned into a whole sweets conversation, but yeah, so good. But let us know down in the comments, what are you up to? And let's see. Oh, Oscar, that's such an interesting question. I don't think anybody's ever asked me this before. He asked, what's your favorite sports which comes with the snack bar food and drinks? And are you, okay, let me see. Are we asking what my favorite like sports drink is? Or what some of my favorite sports are and then concession stands? Like where do they rock? Just clarify for that for me, because I can answer both ways. But if you're like, no, I meant like this, I would love to know. And in gym, yeah, you gotta call me out like that. Honestly, if I hadn't like had a detour from driving to the gym to go get those cookies, I would have walked away with at least 1 box. You know, a case is a stretch, but 1 box, yes. However, I do live in a household with other people. So when I get Girl Scout cookies, I'm hiding them, okay? I am shoving them in places where I hope no one will find them, because we all have, like I said, very similar taste buds. And the second a box of Samoas comes into the house, they're gone. Absolutely gone. There was one time I bought a box of Samoas. I didn't get a single freaking cookie. Not one. Not one. My brother ate the whole box by himself. I was deeply offended. But I see we got that going on. And Oscar says sport and the food that comes from the concessions. All right. Some of my favorite sports, I gotta say. I do love going to racing events. So motocross, so supercross, outdoor motocross racing. I do love those sporting events. I love going to football games, especially at Cardinal Stadium. I've done the national anthem there a couple times, and one of the fun things is you get to go up to the club level and you get to go eat all the fun, amazing food that they have up there. Some of the best stuff. But I have to say, when it comes to doing an anthem, right, which usually, if I'm at a sporting event these days, I'm doing a national anthem, which I do have 2 coming up for Supercross. One's in Anaheim, that's January 27th, and the other one is in Glendale, Arizona, and that is February 10th. I'm doing the national anthem for that. I don't really eat a lot leading up to the anthem, partially because of anxiety, the rest of it because the last thing I want to do during the national anthem is burp. So I wait, and especially the couple hours before the performance, nothing. Can't get anything in me. So by the time that I'm done doing the anthem, my blood sugar is just like tanked. My go-to things when we are at those events is a chicken sandwich. Love a good chicken sandwich. and usually some form of sugar, which for most sporting events typically ends up being like a box of M&Ms. That's like universally seems to be one of the only types of candies that they have, that I know will just like quickly get them up there. But yeah, those are probably like my two go-to concession type foods. I love me a chicken sandwich. I love me some M&Ms. But yeah, those are like, if we have nothing else, we go for that. But y'all, put some french fries in front of me, downhill, demolished, absolutely demolished. But I have to say, my top two sporting events, those are probably my top two. Let's see. And oh, you know, this is a good question. Labo asks, do you like watching soccer? I had to admit, I'm not like super proficient in soccer. I'm not really an avid watcher of soccer. However, I do enjoy watching women's soccer. There was one, like, the first time I think I ever properly, like, sat down and watched a soccer game, it was, I think, the United States versus Japan, and it was the women's teams, and I had so much fun. Like, those gals, they kick butt. Super awesome. That, and I am extremely in awe of everybody's cardiovascular skills. Go, run, just run, and like, all the coordination and stuff. That's not really like where I thrive, but I love watching other people do it. And I think when the World Series like comes on and everything, it's always fun to watch that. I know, especially when we're on tour. There's something about musicians when we go out on tour. When the World Cup comes around, holy cow, everything stops. And when they're not doing music, they're watching soccer. So it's definitely appreciated. Not an avid watcher, but I definitely enjoy and can appreciate the sport for all the things that it comes. John Buchanan asks, did you do anything fun today? You know what? I did. I got up, was working on music this morning and practicing my violin. I had a lot of fun doing that, working on some booking stuff, which we're hoping in some new areas. And then I had to run some errands. I had to drop off some merchandise orders at the store, and I picked me up a strawberry acai from Starbucks. It's amazing. I unknowingly trained myself to habitually go to Starbucks and get a strawberry acai when I go to the post office to drop off merchandise orders, like a little treat to myself. And I didn't realize that until I was sitting there packing the order, and all of a sudden I had this craving for the strawberry acai. And I was like, man, that sounds so good right now. And then I realized I go get one every time I go to the post office. And I was like, I have formed a habit of getting strawberry acai from Starbucks. And I don't know how to feel about that. Is that a good habit to have? Or should I like maybe reconsider a little bit? However, I did have that moment because today is Wednesday. Usually I go to the post office on Thursdays. And I was like, oh, you know what the only bummer is about going to Starbucks today? It's the fact that the happy hour special on all the like handcrafted drinks isn't going on today. It only happens on Thursdays. So I was a little bummed about that. But you know what? It's all good. We made it happen. Let's see. And James Bingham asked, will you have bigger t-shirt sizes with your new merchandise? I'd love to be able to wear your shirts representing your brand. Yes, we will have select designs in bigger sizes. Actually, this past merchandise release when we were out on the road, I did order 3Xs. I did order like 1 4X. So there are going to be some t-shirts that will go up to the like 3X range, and I'll have a little bit of stock in that. Anything bigger than that, if you need it, let me know to custom order it and stuff, just because that's all different and everything. But we will carry up to 3X in some stock for some of the merchandise orders. So or some of the merchandise designs, I should say, for the new stuff. So if that is within your size range, just note that yes, you will be accommodated for, because I know there's a lot of y'all who are like, Ashley, I'm really tall, I am well built, I need more than just a 2X. And we heard you guys. And so we definitely did stock up on some 3Xs this year on the road. And Bobby Lynn, great to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I see we got a lot of fun questions going on here today, which I always love. Amelia, do you love Mexican food, or do you prefer a different style of food? So if you're asking like favorite like cultural cuisine, Mexican is probably, it's not my top one. I love like Asian cuisine. If we were like putting anything, that's probably number one. But I do love some good Mexican food. Personally, for me, if you want to ask me what my favorite dish is, flautas. I don't know what it is about it, but flautas, I could just eat all day. Give me some guacamole, give me some salsa, give me a flauta. I'm going to go and just gorge myself. I also like taquitos and everything too. If you guys have any favorite Mexican food, let me know down in the comments. I know everybody loves a good taco, okay? But if you're like on the enchilada train, oh, tamales. Why is it not tamale season like all the time? We had some great family friends of ours give us tamales for the first time this year. My favorite tamales I've ever had. So good, so good. But I will say, I'm not an olive fan. And this was the first like gifted tamales that we've ever had that didn't have olives in them. And I could have cried. I was so excited. I didn't have to go rip it apart and dig it out. I could just eat it. And it was amazing. And if anybody else hates olives as much as I do, drop a comment. Join the olive hater squad, because yeah, I'm not on it. I'll wear it. I'll wear the olive green. Okay? Will not eat it. Let's see. Some of y'all are dropping some like cool stuff. Odell says, I used to race for the CMA Central Mud Association and Tough Truck. I had 10 trucks. That is so cool. That is so cool that you used to do that. I love to see like the stuff that you guys are involved in and everything. Oh my goodness. So much fun. Like everybody's got such cool hobbies. And if you guys do anything cool that you want to share, feel free to throw it down in the comments. What I love about YouTube is that the live chat stays with the video, so it doesn't go away. So feel free to drop it. Oscar asked, Montana in 2024. Very fair question. We are working super hard to get back to Montana because we had a blast with you guys in Miles City this past year. So I do not have an official date posted for Montana, but I am optimistically hopeful that y'all will be back on the calendar for our 2024 tour run. So just keep an eye out for that. As soon as I have something confirmed, all the details are in place, I will of course announce it. And if you're like, Ashley, I don't want to wait for lives and stuff to get all the information, one of the best ways you can be like right up to date with all the information about upcoming shows for the 2024 touring season is to go give me a follow over on Bands in Town. When you do that, you will be automatically notified when we have a show in your area. And of course, if you just want alerts on when I post shows, period, because maybe you are planning a road trip, and if we have a show in a place that you've always wanted to visit, you can get all the information and stuff there. I did get some questions asking about like, hey, what's ticketed, what's open to the public. A lot of the events that we have up right now are open to the public. So you just kind of have to go and check per event, which ones are ticketed, which ones are not. I know for a fact that if you're coming to our show in Minnesota in August, where we are opening up for Sawyer Brown, super excited about that one. That one is a ticketed event at Raleigh's Rednecks and Longnecks, and all that information is in there. But that right now is the only one that I know off the top of my head that is a ticketed event. Actually, Cheyenne Frontier Days, I know there is a cover charge to get into the venue for both Thursday and Friday night out there. So you just have to go and see all the links and stuff. They have not released their ticket link yet, but as soon as I get it, I'll post it up there for you guys. So most of them are open to the public. Some of them have tickets and everything that you need to purchase. But for the most part, it's kind of a one-by-one basis. So just make sure to go check it out. And Cassie, I love the update on Belle. I feel like it's crazy that you've been in our community for over 7 years, because I remember you giving birth to your lovely daughter, and I love that she is not only in the 1st grade, but she is also making honor roll. Congratulations to her. We love that. A strong and smart mind will keep you going forever. And you guys make me laugh. Elon's asking, where was the crocheting stream last week? Y'all, I thought we were joking about that, but a little crafting time, a little just sit and have fun. I don't know. Like I said, I'm down if you are. Just throwing it out there. But I need to start a new project. What to do. I mean, if we do that, I might as well make a blanket, because we're going to sit here and just chit chat forever. My goodness. And ooh, I see that's a strong comment. Joshua McLean says the Diamondbacks are going to win the World Series this year. I would love that. I think everybody in Arizona would love that. I'd love to see them come and just like lock it down. We will see how the season pans out. If you guys are baseball fans, let me know down in the comments who your favorite teams are. Obviously, being from Arizona, I do appreciate the Diamondbacks, but if you personally ask me, I am an Angels fan. I do love the Angels. I have done a lot of work with the Angels Association over the last couple years, and every time I do an event for them, whether it's spring training out here in Arizona, they do their spring training out of Tempe Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, or in Anaheim itself. It's always a blast. They always treat me so very well, and the games are always very fun whenever we go. I'm bummed, I will say, that Shohei Ohtani moved to the Dodgers, because one of my favorite parts about going to the Angels games was seeing Shohei knock it out of the ballpark like multiple times in a game. But, you know, players do what players do. Players go where players will go. I'm a little bummed, but you know what? I still appreciate the Angels as a team, so yeah. You guys are asking some really fantastic questions. I know I keep saying this, but every time I like scroll down through the comments, I find a new one, and I'm like, dang, this is fun. John S. asked, Ashley, are there certain clothes you wear for each show, city you perform? Yes. Actually, one of the cool parts, when we customized my trailer, I actually, if you go dig through YouTube, I actually have a video from when we built all the custom inserts that we did into our touring trailer, which that was a lot of fun. But if you watch that video, you can kind of see the layout that we had for it. And one of the things that was like a must-have in the trailer was a clothing rack for tour show exclusive clothing. So not the day-to-day stuff, but anything that was for shows goes on that rack, including all the guys' stuff. So every show has an outfit. It's all put together. I do like a lookbook before the tour starts. So that way I just kind of like roll through my catalog of stuff and I go, oh, okay, I need this piece. I need this piece. I need like all these little pieces to make this cute little outfit. And I just pull all the stuff right out of the closet, put it on, wash it, put it back in there. That's where it lives. And so yes, there are certain clothes that I wear for each show, each city. Every outfit's different. I'm not an outfit repeater. You might see some of the same pieces in there, but they're always styled differently, which I always have a lot of fun with. So it's always a journey, by the way, to put all those outfits together. And I actually do have an older vlog going through that whole process of us putting outfits together. Whew, she's a doozy. Especially when your tour gets to like, I don't know, like 50 plus shows. It's a lot of outfits. It's a lot of clothing. Whew. So we try to find a million ways to style the same things. So it's nuts. But yeah. Let's see. And I'd love to see that. All right, so we got a lot of Kansas City fans. for baseball. See with the Cubs. All right. I got a lot of Cubs fans in my family. My mom's side is all from Illinois, so their whole that whole side of the family loves baseball. If you were a boy on that side of the family, you played baseball. It's nuts. But yeah, they all love the Cubs. So let's see what else we got going on here. Another great question. John Buchanan asks, do you get meet and greet at your bigger shows? I know a lot of your shows are on the bigger side of the country than North Carolina. Now, I love North Carolina, and yes, we make it an effort to do a meet and greet at some point throughout the night at any show that we do. And typically, unless arranged otherwise with the event coordinators, meet and greets happen for free at my merchandise table. So usually if we are at a fair or whatever the case might be, there's a merchandise table set up there. And whether it's before, if it's a longer show, mid-show break, or especially more commonly than not after the show, you can come up to the merchandise table and you can meet me there, which is, I think, the better way to do it, because when you buy the merchandise then and you come up to see me, I can sign anything that you want right then and there. You don't have to worry about it. You can just go, boom, jump on over to me. We sign, we take pictures, all that sort of good stuff. So yes, there is a meet and greet at every show. Like I said, unless coordinated otherwise, per like the venue or the events, like standards, sometimes they have security and all that, and it's a little bit more of a formal process, but every show has a meet and greet, and most of the time they're free, and all you have to do is walk up to the merchandise table and I will meet you there at some point throughout the night, most commonly at the end of the evening after the performance is done. But yeah, so definitely lots of opportunities to come up and say hi. Especially if you come out to a show, at some point you will see me. We will get to say hi. We will take pictures, all that sort of good stuff. And I see a lot of you guys are also asking, like, hey, do you have shows here yet? Do you have shows here yet? Which is why I always recommend giving me a follow on Bands in Town or Songkick, or just going and visiting the website, ashleywinland.com, when we do post all sorts of new events and everything, just because they do come in sporadically, and we just wait for everything to be finalized. But as soon as it's finalized, I post it for y'all. So if you want information, or maybe you don't see your state, your city, whatever the case might be, up on the calendar yet, be patient. The schedule is far from being finalized. So we still have a couple months till we pretty much have like our full-fledged schedule out. So just know, if you don't see it yet, there's a chance that it's still coming around the river bend. And if you'd like to help us out as far as coming to see you guys on the road this year, one of the best ways that you guys can help ensure that we get out to come see you is for your favorite events or venues that host live music, especially live country music. I highly encourage you to go onto their social media pages or go onto their websites and leave them messages or comments saying, hey, I know you host live music. Ashley Wineland's super cool, and we would love to see her on your lineup. And if you put her on our lineup, we're definitely going to come. So the more people that they know are going to come in order to see us, or just put our name out there in the first place, the easier it is for us to come see you. And many shows that we had in 2023 on the Rolling On Tour were thanks to you guys going above and beyond to drop our names in special places and stuff. And even some of the shows that are already posted for 2024 are because you guys dropped the name, said, hey, we want to see her at this event. Give us the hookup. Stump Dodger Bash in Gays Mills, Wisconsin was one of those. Y'all let them know. We'd love to see Ashley here. They called me up. We got it on the calendar. I think that was actually the first booking that we like totally solidified for 2024. For those of y'all who come out and see us in Minnesota at Raleigh's Rednecks and Longnecks, you guys give rave reviews. We get to come back. So lots of different ways that you guys can help get us out to you, especially if you're on like the East Coast, upper north, northeast, northwest, all that stuff. I know there's a bunch of y'all that are like, we are not represented on the calendar yet. How can we change that? So that is some of the best ways that you can help us get out to you. And Emil, I love back scrolling through comments because, oh my goodness, I see that. Amelia knows what she's talking about. Amelia, do you craft? Because you sound like somebody who does. She was like, you need to like crochet a temperature blanket, a different color depending on how cold or hot the average temperature is, which I always thought would be fun because I'm not in like Arizona all year round. You know, where like for 4 months, the whole thing would just be like bright red from it being over 100 degrees. I travel all around, so the weather's always like, woo, you know? Temperature blanket would be fun to do on the road. My goodness. Let's see. Want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. And Jim, thank you for throwing that comment down in there. Yes, my website is accessible from both my Instagram page, my Facebook account. If you go to the About section here on my YouTube channel, you can check it out there. I'll also have the link to it in the description of this live stream. So lots of different ways to go and see the schedule and get nice quick little links there. And I see y'all are already throwing down places we would love to go. Alrighty, Cassie, ooh, I love this. Cassie's touching my heart right now. She goes, I have a question. What is your favorite original Disney film? Oh. Hands down, my number one since I was young has always been Beauty and the Beast. I don't think that probably comes as a surprise to anybody. I love Belle, related very much to her growing up. I love to read. I love to just go out and explore and see things. And yeah, I think it would be cool to have like talking teapots and stuff hanging out. But yeah, I always loved Beauty and the Beast growing up. If I had to like give you my next couple, I always loved Peter Pan too, growing up. And is there anything else I'm missing off the top of my head? Those are probably my top two. My top two. Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan. Such good memories with those films. And I'd love to know if you guys are also Disney fans, which ones are your favorites down in the comments. Because like I said, nothing just brings a little pep in your heart, makes you feel good than that. I do have to say, now that I'm thinking about it, my mind's kind of leaning in that direction. Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of the most underrated Disney films of all time. Love that movie, especially the soundtrack. Holy cow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Disney, put it on your to-do list. You will not be disappointed. The music's just like, whoa. Oh. So awesome. So awesome. And Jim, I see you leaning towards the Pixar side of things. Cars, hey, that's fantastic. I do love Cars too. It always makes me like smile when we go to Cars Land and anytime we visit like Disneyland or Disney World, because it's Arizona. It's just Arizona. So it's like we get to go home for like a minute on that ride. It's always fun. Always fun. Ooh, Oscar, great choice with the Jungle Book. That's, you know what? That's another one. Yeah, I feel like that's like it's popular, but I also feel like it's kind of underrated. You know what I mean? Like just good stuff. I always loved Khan being the villain. Like I love tigers and stuff. So like that to me was always fun growing up. Ooh, Hobie, Flight of the Navigator. Yeah, holy cow. That's okay. Look at you, like throwing in like an obscure one. I love that. Jim coming in with Lady and the Tramp. Iconic. Absolutely iconic. I definitely love everything that we're throwing down here. And yeah, Uncle Scrooge. I love that. So many good ones. So many good ones. Like Rescuers Down Under. What are like the other like miscellaneous movies of my childhood? Part of me is like not wanting to mix the more obscure ones with the Fox Studios films that I also grew up watching, but so good, so good. And James, I love that you want to see us at your local fair in West Virginia. I have to ask, which fair is it? Because I actually just reached out to a bunch of fairs in West Virginia, so I'm kind of curious if I've already covered the bases. But one of the best things that you can do if you'd love to see us at that event is go on the pages of like their social media or their website and just let them know that you would love to see us at their event on one of their live music stages, and that's all that you got to do, and hopefully they will reach out. But like I said, I just reached out to a bunch of events in West Virginia, so I'm kind of curious now if I tapped the event that you are talking about. Love it. 101 Dalmatians is solid too. And of course, I love that, Cassie, you're already watching The Little Mermaid. Iconic as well. Yes, James, with you on that. Cinderella is, of course, iconic. It's the film that saved the company. Come on now. You kind of are like the best princess if you saved the whole company from going down under. But yeah, big Disney fan. And of course, I could probably just sit here and do a whole 30 minutes on just talking about that. But that's not what we're here for. So yeah, it's always great. I love seeing everybody's like preferences and favorites. So we love that for us. Oh man. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any comments and stuff. And I hope to be able to come and entertain a bunch of y'all in West Virginia, especially. It's one of those states, man. We haven't had the pleasure of playing it yet, and I'm working really hard to try to change that. There's a bunch of states that I'm working really hard to try and change that and really make for a nice tour schedule this year. So we're working hard every day. Every ding dong day. I am sending out stuff, trying to get out to you guys. So you just have to understand, we go where the shows will take us, and everything that we do is done by not just yours truly, a little small but mighty team. I got a couple people behind me that help really push everything forward. So we all divide and conquer in the areas that we need to try to get out and make the tours possible, to make the new music happen, to get the releases and stuff out to you guys, to really just make the year a really fun year for you guys to enjoy from an entertainment perspective. So in the instance that you don't end up on the calendar this year, please know I'm so sorry. And that we always work super hard. We do a bunch of outreach to all different sorts of states and places and events and venues. And like I said, we take what comes in and we go entertain the people that are willing to have us entertain us. And like I said, the more that you guys reach out to those events, that you leave comments, you leave messages and stuff for those places that host live music, the more likely it is that they will reach out to us and help us get into the door to come out and see y'all. If they know you're coming, they will have us there. Yes, North and South Carolina too. I love you guys. Definitely working on coming back out to see y'all. And I know South Carolina, y'all are like, we're supposed to have a show. We didn't get a show because of the weather and hurricanes and all that sort of stuff. So we are definitely working on making that up to you guys this year. So there's a lot of work to do, and we are happily doing it. And we are just like, we're hitting the pavement. I'm running. I'm sprinting. My legs are sore, but we're making it happen, you guys. So patience is obviously a virtue. I have to practice that virtue a lot because, you know, there's times where I'm like, let's just make it happen. Let's just do it now. Everybody, like, just jump on the boat. Like, let's go. Let's just run. I want to be able to tell you guys good news all the time. But like I said, sometimes we just have to let it go. Just, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. I'm reading the comments. Y'all are starting to venture into territory where I'm like, I have the answer, but am I allowed to talk about it yet? No. Like John S. asking, what is the name of this upcoming tour? I know what the name of the upcoming tour is, but it's also the title of a song that's coming out this year. And listen, I can't give that away yet. I can't give that away yet. We're not talking about that yet. Shh. But there is a name. There is a name. So When you guys find out, you're gonna find out. And you're gonna be like, that is amazing. It works so well as a tour name. I am so excited about it. But I can't talk. Stop it. You guys know how to push my buttons, okay? Ugh. So yeah. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And no, John, you're good. It's a good question to ask. It's a fair question to ask. But yeah, I'm so passionate about it because, again, like I said, it ties into a song that's coming out this year. And I so very badly want to tell you. I just can't yet because we haven't announced what that song is. So as soon as that song gets announced, like I said, it'll make sense. You'll be like, that's why it's the tour name. That's why it's the tour name. And I love, for some of you guys who saw us on the road this year, you're like, do I know? Do I know which song it is? I don't know. But I love that you guys are already guessing. I love that you're already guessing. It makes me giggle. Jim, I love your comment. She did the Rolling On tour, so this one is going to be the Run It Back. I think that's fun. It's crazy because we use the phrase rolling on so much, especially when talking about tour, that it just felt like such a good tour name that I'm like, every tour could technically be called the Rolling On tour because we're just always rolling on. And it's a phrase that we use all the time, but every tour gets its own unique name. So we'll just have to wait and see what this one is going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so on that note, before I spill any more beans, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into today's show, hanging out for a whole, 42 minutes already. Thank you so much for being here, spending this time with me. If you've made it all the way to the very end, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, let's do something a little fun, okay? I did this the other day with my Instagram live, and I had so much fun reading the comments afterwards. I thought it made a party to do something a little special at the end, so that way when you go and leave your comment when the replay's up, it's just like one of those insider secrets, okay? So, because we talked about tour, because we talked about all sorts of fun things happening, if you made it to the end, which clearly you have if you're this far in, I want you, when you go leave a comment on the replay, to somehow, Jim, I totally was going in there. I want you, with your emojis, okay, to use a cookie and to use a tire emoji, okay? Because we're going to roll on the road this year, even though that's not the tour name anymore. We're going to roll on, but we're going to eat cookies while we do it, okay? 2 fun topics that we talked about today. If you made it to the end, make sure to have a cookie and a tire down in your comments. And of course, if you like this and you haven't already, make sure to give the broadcast a nice little thumbs up to let YouTube know that you really enjoyed it, to let me know that you really enjoyed it, and anybody else who might be watching that it's a fun thing to be a part of. And of course, if you're brand spanking new, welcome, and give me a little subscribe. If you did enjoy this, turn on the post notifications by clicking on the bell, and that way you can be notified not only when we go live, but when new YouTube videos and stuff come up as well, and be all up in the loop of everything good and right happening in the world. So there's a lot of fun things coming this year, and I want you to be informed. So until then, be safe, have fun. If you're on Facebook, I'd love to see you for my Facebook Friday Live happening this week at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. But if not, I'll see you back here next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time for our regularly scheduled Winelander Wednesday Roundup. Have a great one, y'all. Bye.